Hey there, Regina Andler here, and it's time for another episode of Tips and Tricks Tuesday. This week, we are talking about the fear of rejection. Now, what is the fear of rejection? Let's start by saying that all fears come from someplace. There are only two fears that you're actually born with: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. So, what does that mean to all of those other fears? I'm scared of spiders. I'm scared of heights. I have a fear of rejection. It means all of those other fears were learned fears. You were taught to fear these things. And what does that mean? That means if you can learn them, you can unlearn them. Where did they come from? Most fears come from those childhood experiences or even adults' experiences. If you experience any trauma, a fear can creep in that your subconscious is putting that fear in there because it's something that you didn't like. Something happened, something didn't work the way it was, or in the case of fear of rejection, somebody rejected you. And if you have a fear of rejection as a business owner and your fear is that who is ever going to buy my stuff? Who's going to buy my products? Who's going to buy my services? Who's going to buy that program that I have? If that's a fear that you have, I'm here today to give you some tips and tricks on how to get rid of that fear. First of all, understand where it comes from. It comes from that place that sometimes, somewhere, someplace in your life, you were rejected. And here's the thing: rejection is a part of life. The saying goes, some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. It just means there's not a connection. I've talked in the past many times about energy. Everything is energy. If your program, your service is not being accepted, you're being rejected, and I put that in air quotes because it's a mindset. Rejection is a mindset. If you're being rejected, it just means that the person that's on the other end of the receiving for the offer or whatever it is not in alignment with what you have. And that's okay. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. The right person is out there for your product or service. So what happens if you're being rejected constantly? Because, a lot of fears, they kind of ingrain themselves in you. They get sucked down into your soul, mostly because it just happens over and over and over again. Well, here's the thing. Just like everything else in life, that rejection is a lesson. So pay attention. Instead of fearing rejection, stop and think and consider, why was it rejected? Was it rejected because it wasn't the right person? Was it rejected because it wasn't the right message? Was it rejected because it's not the right content? What is it that caused the rejection? Chances are pretty good most of the time. It's just not the right person for your product or service. Now, if that's the case and you're being rejected over and over and over again, that means that you really need to consider who your market is. Who is your target market? Where are you showing up? Where are you promoting your product or service? Because if you're being constantly rejected, it means you're not with the right audience. If what you have is something that people said that they want, then they will buy it. You just need to find the right people. You need to find your people. And that's what it's all about. So when you think about rejection, rejection's actually not a bad thing. And so there's nothing to fear. If you reframe your thoughts around rejection and think of it in a way of, okay, what just happened? They really rejected my product or service. Why? And you know what? If it's somebody that you can, some people won't respond. If it's somebody who will respond, ask them for their feedback. Why was it rejected? Why wasn't this a right fit for you? And you'll get the answer. And in those answers from them, what you'll get, you take those answers, you flip them, and now you have the words to provide your potential clients the exact result that they're looking for. And so there is no fear of rejection because now you know you're using their words and their information from the feedback that you got from your rejection to use to your advantage. So the next time you have that feeling of a fear of rejection, what I want you to do is stop for a minute and consider, why was it rejected? And in that why, don't take it personally. They're not rejecting you. They're rejecting the energy. They're rejecting that alignment. They're not in alignment with whatever it is that you have. If they are, trust me, energy attracts like energy. If they are attracted to you and you are in alignment, they will buy. It's not a question. It's not a will you buy, maybe they will, maybe they won't. It's a they will buy because the energy is aligned. That's how it works. They have to because it's what they want. And so when you think about that, go out and just consider, where is that target market? Are you talking to the right people? If you're getting rejected on a regular basis, say you get rejected 5 times in the same place. Maybe you're, for example, maybe you're marketing your product or service out on one of the social media channels. And 5 times in a row, nope, 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 nope. You're putting it out there and you're asking for questions, you're asking for responses, and it's a nope, nope, nope. It's a resounding no. Go back and ask them, well, why not? Why is it a no? Because in their no is the answer for what you're looking for. In their no is the reason why you're not connecting on that energetic level. That's why you're not in alignment. And then once you get that information and you learn from that rejection, you gain some wisdom from that rejection, then what you can do is you can go back and then using the words that they said, well, it wasn't this because, or I was looking for this and your program looked like it had that. And maybe it didn't. Maybe it had exactly what they were looking for. You just didn't use the words that attracted them, because this isn't about you. This is about them. This is about the value that you can provide for them. And if you use their words, you will attract them. So next time you are out there and you're thinking, I'm really feeling bad because I was rejected. Flip it around. Flip it around, because rejection's a good thing. Rejection is the process. I think it was Jack Canfield. It was 144 times, him and Mark Victor Hansen, when they did the Chicken Soup for the Soul books. The Chicken Soup for the Soul books? Big, famous, millions and millions around the world sold. They were turned down by 144 publishers before they finally found the one to publish that book. And look what it did. If they had said, well, we've been rejected and we're going to call it a day, what would have happened? We would have never gotten those books. We would have never experienced what has happened to the world because of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series books, right? And so it's about learning from it. And they said, okay, well, this publisher didn't want this. Okay, let's reframe our ask and say, okay, well, we're going to do it this way. That didn't work. Let's do it this way. Nope, that one just wasn't the right publisher. Okay, let's try this one. They kept going and going and going and picking up all of those little clues from all of the rejections to create the ask for their offer that would get the response that they were looking for. And then they were in alignment. They finally made it to the right publisher who was in alignment with them, who said, yeah, absolutely, hands down, we will publish this. So that's what it's all about. It's about keeping going and learning from the rejection. So my tips for you today are, to sum it up, it's when you have that fear of rejection, I want you to stop for a minute and think about what lesson is in that. What lesson is in the rejection? Is it the wrong audience? Is it just the wrong fit? Is there someone else out there waiting? Am I in the wrong place? Am I in the wrong social media? Where am I talking to people? Do I have the right people? Maybe you need to go back and check your target market and maybe check that ideal avatar of yours and say, okay, am I actually talking to the person who needs and wants what I have? Because if you are, there is no rejection. And so I want you to reframe your rejection into something more positive and say rejection is actually a good thing. It's a learning experience. It's going to show you where to go next. So remember, some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Go find them. That's all I have for you today. Bye for now.